And we are live, guys. Welcome to another live stream from Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. Wanting to go more into what we spoke about yesterday, which was how to double your value in 2019. What does it mean to really double your value? How do you know that you've doubled your value? Well, what I want to say about that is basically what gets measured improves, right? So if you haven't been tracking your income and expenses before, now is the time to start. There are endless amounts of apps, okay, to keep track of your finances. There are also some being developed in Norway. If you live in the States, you've got mint.com. Like, that is an amazing program that I wish I had my hands on, but guess what? They only do it in the States. But here in Norway, you don't have anything. So you need to do a little bit more effort than what people normally do. There are apps coming out, so eventually they'll come, but for now, you need to start tracking. If it's an Excel sheet that you open up and start using, or if it's simply an app like what I did, basically, I downloaded all the finance apps and I tried them all out, and then I basically stuck with one about 2 to 3 years ago. And having that overview since that time, I now have the ability to go back and see how much I've been making and how much I've been using every single month since March 2016. And what I've understood and what I've seen is that I actually increase my income by 60% every year. That's what I've done approximately every year. So that's my personal development growth rate, according to my understanding of finances and how to double your value. So I haven't managed to double my value every year, but I've managed to increase my income 60% every year. So I want to keep on doing that. So, but if you're at a point where but I also have to say in that moment, I haven't had a personal private coach. All right? That's something I've been able to do on my own. Like in 2016, I had a full-time job, but then I quit in October, and I've been basically just running my own business ever since. Very flexible, very nice. And you have the ability next to your full-time job to start something on the side to increase your income, and I highly suggest that you do that. Even if it's just your passion that you do on the side, it is critical that you not just take time off next to your work, okay? You've got to get yourself out of that job, and the only way to do that is to increase the amount of time that you use during your other 8 hours, right? You sleep for 8 hours, you work for 8 hours, and then you have the other 8 hours that can be used to progress to get out of the full-time job that you're in. And so what is then the meaning of doubling your value? It's basically your income. You have to become financially wise when it comes to money. And that means that you're able to get more money whenever you need it, right? Yes, another financial skill is to keep the money once it comes into your account, right? You don't want to spend it all, but the number one skill is to make the money, all right? Grant Cardone says that, you know, you have the graph that's talking about household debt in America, and then you have income, and it's basically the household debt is massively increasing. And he says, which graph is the problem? It's not the debt, it's the income, right? So if your income was massively higher than what your debt is increasing, then maybe you're kind of right on track. But anyway, the point is, if you want to double your value, number one, get yourself a private personal coach. And then you can get higher percentage growth than what I've been able to do without one. If I had had a personal private coach, probably my income would have increased a lot more, but I really haven't known who to turn to that doesn't cost $10,000 a month, or even even $5,000 a month, who is a financial guy who can help me get results fast, right? It's better to have a personal private coach where you know the expense of it is so low that you can actually be consistent with it. Any private personal coach that has more than 10% of your income in expenses, like for you, if you spend more than 10% of your income for your coach, that's not something that could be sustainable over a long period of time. And in order to succeed and grow and to double your value, you kind of have to have consistency when it comes to coaching, right? You can't just do it for 1 to 2 to 3 months, right? So, but that should be part of your expenses. When you set aside different things for, different categories, one of the categories that you set aside money to is education, right? Working on yourself. And for that, you need someone to help you out. That is what I mean by doubling your value. Double the amount of money that you're making while still keeping your expenses the same. And if you can do that, you're going to have a fantastic 2019. This is the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. I will see you again tomorrow.